I want to call to order a meeting of the Public Safety Committee for Rutherford County for March 24th, 2025. Good to see each and every one of you here this evening. We'll begin with the approval of our minutes, and I'll call on our Vice Chairman, Commissioner Rather.
Reviewed last month's meeting minutes. Found them all to be in order. Move for their approval as mailed.
Have a motion to approve our minutes.
Second.
Have a second. All in favor say aye. The minutes have been approved. Any public comments? No public comments for this evening. Moving into our first item, emergency medical service. Brian Gaither. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Commissioners. For the month of February, we had a total of 3,439 calls, response time of 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Had 172 deaths for the month. 25 of those went for an autopsy. Collection $684,051. That is down a little bit. We're looking into that, but it looks like March is going to kind of offset those where we're down a little bit. Some in-services and training and community relation for the month. On the convalescent side, we did 346 calls, collected $89,861. Next few pages is that more detailed report for all the units. And then thank you note there in the back from Sumner County. They had a captain to pass away, so the services from within the Middle Tennessee region pulled together, went to cover the county so they could attend that service. So just wanted to say thank you to the commission and the mayor for allowing us to be able to go help them out in their time of need. And that's my report.
Commissioners?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve and a second. Further questions? All those in favor of the report, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Report has been approved. Before you step down, let me say something, if you don't mind. Commissioners, I've heard some of you say, tell your stories about ride-alongs and all this sort of things with the ambulance service. After Thursday evening's commission meeting, I was sitting at home and I had to call this group, and I had the ultimate ride-along. It was in the back of one of those with an IV and then checking the heart rate and all that sort of thing, coming to the hospital after a norovirus hit me. And I want to brag on them and how they took care of me and how they got me up here in a grand way. So I know how it operates exactly in the proper ways and the way it worked well, because once I got here and found out what I had, I think they basically probably saved my life, because my kidney, the one kidney I have, the numbers had started to spike, and I had a complete, I was dehydrating quite badly, and my small intestines had come to a point where they had paralyzed and wasn't working. So I want to thank your group, Brian. I didn't send a thank you note. I want to do it publicly right here.
Thank you.
But commissioners, I did I hung around at my house until you got through with that marathon commission meeting. And main thing I was watching was our efforts as far as getting a forensic center. And this I'll call him young man standing right here, he worked hard on that too, in helping us getting that, as well as Denise Martin, as well as others that have worked hard to get that. And most importantly, I want to thank you that voted for it. It's going to mean a whole lot to this county and to the citizens of Rutherford County. And I just want to say thank you.
Thank you for
appreciate it
for saying that. And
comment. Is this on? I just want to say maybe it was that marathon meeting that got you, because I had texted you earlier that evening. You told me you were feeling better.
I did. I actually got a little bit better, but as soon as that was over, I went just like that. I went downhill about as quick as ever. And And I do appreciate, well, we've got a good ambulance crew.
Yes, sir.
The only thing is I couldn't see out of that little box back there, and I didn't have to see out, if you want to know the truth, but I do appreciate our crews and what they do.
Oh, thank you for saying that. And one other thing that I wanted to just kind of bring to your attention, our cardiac monitors are starting to age. It's a big ticket item, and nothing in mind yet, but we're exploring replacing those, and we're looking into some grant availability. So I've talked with Alyssa Phillips. I mentioned it to the mayor this morning, so we're going to start exploring those options to try to offset some of the costs. So unless there's any objections from this committee to seek that out, we're going to start that process. Obviously, as it starts to happen, we'll bring the whole process back before, but just wanted to make you aware that we're going to start looking into those opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you for that information. Moving into item 4, fire and rescue. Chief Farley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee, for the month of February, we ran a total of 627 calls with 8 structure fires. For the year to date, we've actually run 23 structure fires with 1,314 calls so far for the 2 months of January and February. We had 272 medical calls. Third sheet is showing the overall response of the county, including the 2 volunteer fire departments and Eagleville. We ran a total of 28 structure fires, 17 brush fires, and 18 illegal burns. Vehicle fires were 10, 146 MVAs with 4 extrications, and then for a total of 1,445 calls. And this last week, with the winds being 40 miles an hour, we had a lot of people decide to start little brush piles, and we've had several acres. We've been battling, we'd have anywhere from 10, 15 acres burn off just that quick. So it'd be greatly appreciated when it's winds are high winds, people don't start fires because it can get out of hand and cause chaos. The next sheet is the reported structure fires that we turned into the codes department and to tax assessor. The next item is the fire marshal's investigation calls they responded to and the cases they investigated and the outcome of those cases. We had 7 installation of fire alarms for the month of January. And then the last one is the illegal burn statement and where those took place at. And that concludes my report, but I have some budget amendments.
Commissioners, any questions on the report?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve. Second. All in favor say aye. Report has been approved. I believe you have 2 budget amendments.
Yes, sir. If you look at the one that says fire permits, that is permits where the fire marshal's office charges for commercial burns and stuff like that and other items. So we want to increase that line item for $25,000. We want to put $5,000 of that in data processing, which will cover our training software. We had to update since we've added more people. The $3,000 in other charges, and then $17,000 in vehicle maintenance. And the other charges, that goes to fire prevention materials that we hand out. You mean do them all?
Now let's do them separately, I believe you.
And so that's the first one.
There's the first.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion on the budget request. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly,
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherino,
Yes.
Commissioner James,
Yes.
Commissioner Rather,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver,
Aye.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Thank y'all.
All right, let's do the second one.
Next budget amendment is, we're taking $10,000 out of our part-time personnel line item, and we're going to put $10,000 of that in custodial supplies, which provides custodial supplies for all the stations that we have, the new stations. I think there's like 7. And then we're taking $12,300 out of the 307 communications line item, and we're putting that into putting $12,300 into furniture and fixtures, and then we're taking $15,400 out of utilities and putting that in other supplies.
You've heard the budget request. Questions? Or a motion? Motion to approve. Do I have a second? Second. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly,
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherino,
Yes.
Commissioner James,
Yes.
Commissioner Rather,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver,
Aye.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Thank y'all.
Thank you very
It's
much.
approved. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman. Sorry. Right before Chief Spence comes up, I meant to say congratulations to Director Gaither and the Rutherford County EMS on an award that they received not too long ago, I think. It was the Bob Thomas ALS Service Award at the TASA Midwinter Leadership Conference, and that award just simply acknowledges the excellence in pre-hospital advanced life support services. So I would like to say openly congratulations and for the award that you all received.
Thank you, Commissioner, for bringing that up. Appreciate it. Sheriff's Office report. Chief Spence.
Good evening. This morning, the population was 982. This afternoon was 963. Update on our division openings. Communication has 7 openings. 2 will be new employees will be starting Monday. Detectives has 4 openings. Detention 28 openings. Narcotics has 4. Patrol has 5 openings, but these will be filled April the 14th. SROs has 3 openings, and these will be filled also April the 14th. I want to go over our February statistics. Total of calls for service is 10,495. Patrol answered 796 of those calls. Crime incident totals: property crime, 7 burglaries, 4 auto burglaries, 2 auto thefts, and 16 larcenies. Personal crimes: 3 aggravated assaults, 2 rapes. Vehicle accidents, we had 109 total collisions, 23 of those with injuries, 39 total injuries, and 6 was related to alcohol. Criminal investigation divisions, a total of 108 cases assigned, 9 arrests, 17 call-outs for CID, 46 property crimes assigned, 66 family crimes assigned, 2 violent crime assigned, and 8 deaths investigation. Narcotics, we had 48 arrests, $256,605 money seized, and street value drug seized was $578,020. Detention, booked in 2,705 inmates, released 2,033. Average daily populations 1,027, and that's counting the ones that was booked in, not the ones that stayed incarcerated. Total meals prepared 91,076, an average of $1.52 each is $138,436. Court security, persons screened 19,223. Arrests made by deputies was 29. 19 instant reports, 26 criminal warrants served, and 8 civil warrants served, and 8 calls for service. That's the end of my report.
Questions on the report?
Did you say, in regards to the school resource officers, you said 3 are being filled? Is that what you said?
Yes, sir. And that would make us fully staffed.
Fully staffed. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a motion or more questions?
I actually have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If we had a question about security, is that something we would just have to kind of ask you offline?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Or you can give me a phone call and we'll discuss it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Have a second? Second. All those in favor say aye. Report has been approved. I believe you have about 6 budget amendments.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
This amendment is being requested following approved grant modification approval from the Tennessee Highway Safety Officers Teen Drivers Safety Grant. The request will move $3,500 from overtime-related costs to law enforcement supplies in order to purchase fatal vision goggles. These goggles will be used to demonstrate polydrug use and the effects between marijuana and alcohol. Period of performance is October 1st of 24 to September the 30th of 25. This is a no-match grant. Asking to $2,930 from the overtime line item, $181 from Social Security, $347 from the pension, $42 from Medicare, and put the total $3,500 into law enforcement supplies.
Commissioners, you've heard the grant request. Motion to
Second.
approve and a second. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly,
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherino,
Yes.
Commissioner James, Commissioner Rather,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver, Chairman Reed.
Yes. It is approved. Next one.
This amendment is being requested to recognize reallocation of expenses for the financial year 23 BJA Connect and Protect Law Enforcement Behavioral Health Response Program Grant. The BA reallocates funds from the uniforms to printing stationery and forms to print pamphlets and a banner to promote the program and increase the community's awareness. This grant period is from ends September the 30th for 26. Asking to move $400 out of uniforms and place it into our print and stationery line item.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve
Second.
and have a second. Any further discussion?
I did have a question on this. Can you explain to me this program?
Yes, ma'am. These are the 2 people we contract through behavioral health. They ride with patrol to handle mental crisis. If we have a crisis, they can serve them quicker than waiting on crisis to respond to us.
So they're actually like on duty, basically.
They
in the
rotate.
event.
Yes, ma'am. They ride with they pair up with our officers.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
How many did you say we have?
2. Yes.
Other questions? Call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly,
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherino,
Yes.
Commissioner Rather,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver, Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Thank y'all.
Motion's approved.
This amendment is to recognize revenue and expenses for the salary supplement paid from the State of Tennessee Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission for all certified deputies that met their in-service requirements in 2024. We're asking to accept the $196,800 from the state and place it into our salary supplement line item.
You've heard the request.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly,
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherino,
Yes.
Commissioner Rather,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver, Chairman Reed.
Yes. It is approved.
Thank you, sir. This amendment is to recognize revenue from other charges for services we received on vehicle fees. We're requesting to place these funds into our vehicle parts. Requesting to accept the $20,000 from other charges for services and placed into our vehicle parts line item.
You've heard the request.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Questions? Call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly,
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Shrino,
Yes.
Commissioner Rather,
yes,
Commissioner Oliver, Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Thank you.
This amendment is to recognize funds from other salaries and wages to place into our transport other than students in our food supplies line item, requesting $250,000 from other wages and other salaries and wages, and placing $200,000 into our food supplies and $50,000 into our transport other than students line item.
You've heard the request.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Questions? Call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly,
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Shrino,
Yes.
Commissioner Rather,
yes,
Commissioner Oliver, Chairman Reed.
Yes. It has been approved.
This amendment is to recognize revenue from restricted for public safety to move funds into maintenance and repair of vehicles, requesting $10,000 from restricted from public safety and place it into the maintenance and repair of vehicles. This is a drug fund amendment.
You've heard the request.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. And a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly, yes. Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Shrino,
Yes.
Commissioner Rather,
yes,
Commissioner Oliver, Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Thank y'all.
It has been approved.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir. PAWS?
Good evening. The report for February is we had 343 intakes with a 5.5% euthanasia rate, live release rate of 87.5% for dogs, 97.5% for cats, 92.8% overall. We completed 1,150 calls with 7,183 miles. Fiscal year to date, we have had 3,072 intakes, with a 5.8% euthanasia rate, live release rate of 91.8%. Total calls completed, 8,896, with total mileage of 59,610. For the month of February, we had 53 total bites with 10 total other exposures. That's the end of the report.
You've heard the report. Questions or a motion?
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The report has been approved, and I believe you have one budget amendment?
Budget amendment and a grant request. Okay, budget amendment. PAWS is requesting to move funds within our current budget to provide additional money for overtime due to the vacancies that our department has experienced. Additionally, we are moving some money to various lines to get us to the end of the fiscal year.
You've heard the request. Any questions or a motion?
Move to approve.
A motion to approve.
Second.
And have a second. Questions? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly,
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Shrino,
Yes.
Commissioner Rather,
yes,
Commissioner Oliver, Chairman Reed.
Yes,
Thank you.
it has been approved.
And PAWS is requesting permission to apply for the 2026 animal-friendly grant with the state of Tennessee and for the mayor to sign the contract if awarded. In the past, we've applied for the maximum amount of $5,000 and have typically been awarded $1,500. The funds from the sale of animal-friendly license plates is used to fund spay and neuter surgeries for low-income citizens. There is no county match required.
A motion to approve. Have a second.
Second.
Have a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly,
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherino,
Yes.
Commissioner Rather,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver, Chairman Reed.
Yes. Has been approved. Thank you. OSHA? Mr. Elam?
Good evening. Commissioner Oliver, it's good to have you back this month. And Commissioner Reed, you're looking better.
Last time you saw me, I look a whole lot better, don't I?
You look a whole lot better. So anyway, for the month of February of 2025, incident frequency report, you'll see that there was 25. If you look to the right, Board of Ed had 15, Rutherford County Government had 9, Highway had 1. And of the Rutherford County Government, 6 were Sheriff's Department, 3 was Solid Waste. Incident frequently for the calendar year, there was 35. OSHA log summary, there was a total of 24 recordables, lost day claims 5, restricted day claims 13, other recordables 6, and you can see where our reserves are at 117,654. Year-to-date on the reserves is 157,895. Total amount paid, 21,776 on the total amount paid for the year to date. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
You've heard the report. Any questions, comments, motions?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. And have a second. Any further questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the report has been approved.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Sir. Recovery Court report. LaChelle Ricks.
Good evening. Lindsay Davis filling in for LaChelle. So our current report, we have 190 participants. For February, we had 5 graduates and 0 terminations. In our DUI day program, there are 23 current participants. In the night, there are 22 current participants. We have 19 applications in process. Mental health court had 61 participants, 43 applications in process. Our drug court has 61 participants with 44 in process. And our veterans treatment court has 23 with 15 in process. And that concludes the report.
Commissioners, you've heard the report. Any questions, comments?
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve
Second.
and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Report has been approved. I believe you have a budget amendment.
Yes, that's correct. So we have one budget amendment. This is for our DUI expansion grant. We are requesting to move $275 from office supplies and $8,200 from travel for a total of $8,475 to contracts for Allard Consulting.
You've heard the budget request. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Have a motion to approve
Second.
and a second. Questions? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly,
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherino,
Yes.
Commissioner Rather,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver, Chairman Reed.
Yes,
Thank y'all.
it is approved.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Probation report. Kelly Haley.
Good evening, Tiarra Smith, Assistant Director
I didn't
of
think you
Probation.
looked like Kelly that was coming up through there.
In February, we actively supervised 1,484 clients. 162 cases were terminated for 144 clients. In our various classes and programs, there were 69 participants. 25 successfully completed their programs. 2 were discharged unsuccessfully. In our Olive Branch program, 4 individuals received assistance with clothing and/or food. We did receive 1 donation from the community. We had 18 participants in our 10 Rocks program in General Sessions Court. None were discharged unsuccessfully. For the month, we sent $14,224 for collections to the clerk's office, bringing that fiscal year total to $115,172. We were unable to send $4,437.50, bringing that fiscal year total unable to be sent to collections to $46,276.50. That is my report for February.
You've heard the report, Commissioners. Any questions, comments?
Quick question. Is 10 Rocks at capacity?
No, ma'am.
Other questions? Or
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Your report has been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you.
Correctional Work Center. Superintendent Cope.
Good afternoon. First thing in our report, as you'll see, is our March 3rd meeting. And connected to that, there's a couple of things. Our new issue of Under the Scope, and also a post-release group flyer that we're working on starting. One of the biggest things that we run into in corrections as a whole is keeping up with people once they've gotten out, and that's something that we're working on with that post-release group. And then the concert that we had today had 2 fantastic showings today, packed house. Make sure that I mention Commissioner Johnson, Anthony Johnson, came there today. I think if you talk to him, you'll see how emotional that show was. Next would be our work release program. Statistics, it is going very well. Lieutenant Peralta is meeting with a couple people over the past couple months, a couple of new companies that we're hoping to work with. Next will be our yearly activity report. Population's creeping up just a little bit, but that's about normal for this time of year. February, trash collected. County roads, county trash collected 12,174 pounds, and then on the state routes, they collected 745 bags out there. Our February monthly report shows a total combined savings of $58,528 using offender labor. And then you will see our medical CQI stats in there. Also, one thing that I'm asked pretty regularly, especially doing speaking engagements throughout the United States and people that come here and visit our facility, is what are the benefits of correctional programming? And I'm usually asked to go and speak about that at the summit every year for the state of Tennessee. And one thing I usually get from stakeholders is why we do that, why we put effort into people that are typically seen as throwaway people. And my answer usually is first that no one should be looked at as thrown away people. And secondly, I will usually go down through this whole list of benefits especially for stakeholders such as you all. And then I decided last week to put this on paper so I don't have to do that as much, and maybe not forget things, because I can be forgetful and get off on other subjects. So I wanted you all to have a copy of that, just so you can see what the benefits of correctional programming for adults in custody are. And hopefully I did not forget anything, but there is that good possibility that I did. Lastly, you'll have in your packet is our recent letter from Tennessee Corrections Institute. We had the inspection just this past week and passed with flying colors as usual. I mean, not to brag on our staff, but I'm going to for a minute, because I truly believe that we have some of the best correctional staff in the United States. And the inspector came that day, and he told me, he said, you know, I had a rough day yesterday and I just wanted something easy, so I knew that I could come and inspect you all and get by easy. So, and that is really a reflection on our staff, who do a fantastic job. So that is our latest inspection, and with an easy pass. And that's all I have.
Questions on the report?
Comment. I do appreciate you acknowledging that no human being is a throwaway person. And since you did not read the benefits of correctional programming, I will. 1 is reduces recidivism and enhances public safety. 2, improves institutional safety and stability. 3, enhances workforce readiness and economic contributions. 4, addresses behavioral and mental health needs. And 5, strengthens families and communities. And we appreciate that. I do have one question, though. Any update on the patient, the inmate with the cancer issue? Any update from the judge?
Unfortunately, we lost him. We did. He was given a furlough by the judge, and we called to check up on him just a few days ago, and he had passed.
Motion to approve in a second. Further comments? All in favor say aye. Those opposed? Report has been approved.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Juvenile detention?
Mr. Chairman,
Lynn Duke.
Carla, could you make a copy of the benefits for correctional programming for an adult custody and put it in every commissioner's box?
Good evening. In front of you have all of our usual reports for the month of February 2025, starting with our juvenile detention board minutes. We also have our yearly activity report. We only have one county that we're waiting on a check from, but that is not anything that we are concerned about. You also have the usual information on our rap sheet. STDs were up a little bit this month. It's the highest month we've had for the fiscal year. Of course, we get those young people treated when they come back positive, whether they're still with us or if they leave. The local health department can track them down, make sure that they are treated. I will answer any questions that you may have regarding our facility programming or education. And then I have a couple of additional items after the normal reports.
Any questions on the report?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed? The report has been approved. I believe you got some contracts. And
Should we do them separate or together?
Still, they're all exactly the same, aren't they?
Yes,
That's
they
what I
are.
read this afternoon.
Yes.
What, Benton, Carroll, and Smith?
Yes. So you will recall that we have recently updated our contracts to include a new daily rate of $200. We were able to get most of those done earlier in the year. We followed up with a few counties that had showed interest but who had not returned the paperwork, and we now have in front of you Benton County, Carroll County, and Smith County who would like to establish contracts. And this is the same language that has been approved through the county attorney's office and board, and we just want to finish up and get Rutherford County signatures on them as well.
Motion to approve the 3 contracts.
Motion to approve the contracts. Have a second?
Second.
And a second. Any further questions? Please call the roll.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Serena,
Yes.
Commissioner Beverly,
Yes.
Commissioner Rather,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver, Chairman Reed.
Yes,
Thank you.
been approved.
And then lastly, I have a budget amendment request. This is no new money. This is from within our existing fiscal year budget. I'm asking to move $2,500 from medical and dental services, another $2,500 from our other supplies and materials, for a total of $5,000 to be moved into other contracted services, which is where we pay for our meals for the juveniles that are detained, and that is population-based, so that's going to be what we hope will be enough money to finish out the fiscal year.
Heard the budget request. Motion to approve. Second. Please call the roll.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Serena,
Yes.
Commissioner Beverly, Commissioner Rather,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver, Chairman Reed.
Yes,
Thank you.
is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Emergency Service Public Safety Report. Director Chris Clark and our storm chaser.
I felt like it this week, or the last couple of weeks. Hopefully in front of you, you have our report from February 1st to the 28th. A couple of notes that I'd like to point out. We've had quite a bit of severe weather, and I'm grateful to report that we've had very minimum damage, even though it was rated as an EF1 tornado in the Christiana area. I will say that during those events, we housed about 170 individuals in our public safety centers during those tornado warnings. So we're very grateful for that minimum impact. I will say that our public safety was ready to respond, and they did. Most of that was tree damage and some outbuildings that were damaged. Also, in the month of February, we had I'd like to point out an incident at Black Fox Elementary. We had a report of an intruder. Murfreesboro, I believe, sent 17 patrol cars immediately, started clearing the school. Murfreesboro Fire dispatched 2 engine companies and a battalion chief. EMS dispatched 2 ambulances and a shift commander. An incident command was set up behind the, I think it's Publix there, along with Homeland Security, my office. I will say that I'm very impressed with the response from all agencies, but my biggest compliment is to the school. I walked in that building and it was quiet as a mouse. It looked like that building had been closed for 5 years. Lights were turned off, and it was not a peep in that school. Come to find out, in summary, was that Supposedly, an individual walked by the cafeteria window that had a mask and a backpack, which the SRO there in that school triggered the intruder, which triggered our response. Shortly after we cleared that, we released it, and whenever they did release all the students inside, it was impressive of how many students were locked up in these classrooms and protecting themselves. It was a total different school within 3 minutes. They were back to normal and did a great job. I will tell you that those plans are in place. We actually had an active shooter training during the month of February with all entities concerning the response and action. And we're doing that throughout the year. Now, emergency management facilitates it, but our partners out here, we all come together to make that work. We have great instructors. We've had some issues with people with or agencies that have depleted their overtime, so it's sometimes difficult to make those arrangements. We have another one scheduled in April. As far as those are the outstanding, and I will entertain any questions that you may have concerning the reports, and then I have 2 budget amendments.
Questions?
Question. Are you able to make any comments about the incident that occurred at Oakland High School Friday?
Yeah, it was a law enforcement issue, of course. The issue was that it was kind of, they don't put these in books. And the reason I say that is that majority of the children or the suspects that we have that are guns in schools, we find that on them or in a locker quickly. That incident, we wasn't exactly sure where the weapon was. We had a holster, but we didn't have a weapon. And we were pretty sure that it was somewhere on that campus. And so therefore it was an extended hold on the students till we located that weapon that was in there. Additional plans were made number 1 was lunch, was a concern for the students, and number 2 was the dismissal on how we were going to do it. We've had a lot of positive feedback, but then, parents are scared. They're worried, and we do know that. And so those are the things that this was a little bit different type of incident. That person was arrested, and I believe that I saw that he was banned from schools in Rutherford County.
Other questions?
With that, just as a follow-up, have there been, I don't know if you can talk about this online, but discussions about preventive measures, metal detectors, possibly?
That doesn't
could
really
have possibly prevented that, maybe?
And that's a school board and a superintendent question, probably not from my office. I do know that the state has talked about that, state legislature. I'd be interested to see how that all turns out. There's definitely a problem there that I think that our county, we have a great county school board director. He's done very well with this. I will say that on the incidents that I've been involved with, either Sullivan or Dr. Martin has been there, ready to act and part of that response mechanism, very responsive, along with other command staff, and we work really well together. But that particular incident, I think that needs to come from the schools.
Do we have a motion? And a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The report has been approved. I believe you have, 2 budget amendments?
I do, and they're kind of, well, they're 2 different ones, but they're both dealing with Homeland Security, 100% match. This is an annual requests. The first one is the Homeland Security Grant, 2024. We're requesting to $17,184 be placed into our homeland, our grant line item, so that we can go ahead and start purchasing that equipment. This is a standard practice that we've done since probably 2002, since Homeland Security grants have come out.
Heard the request.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And second. Please call the roll.
Quick question. What was the match?
It's 100%.
So it's 100% grant?
Yes,
no
ma'am.
match.
So we'll buy the equipment out of this line item that we're going to put it in, and then the federal government reimburses us. And it's the same for this next one as well.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly? Yes. Commissioner McMurray?
Yes.
Commissioner Sereno?
Yes.
Commissioner Rather?
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver?
Aye.
Chairman Reed?
Yes.
The second one is similar. It's called an Urban Area Security Initiative. And there is, I think, 2 UIC areas in the state of Tennessee, one being Memphis and one being Nashville. We're part of the UIC in Nashville. So this goes, we work as a region. This equipment will come here, but it's part of that overall regional response. We're requesting $171,463 moved into this grant line item, for 100% reimbursement after we spend that amount on equipment, and that has been identified.
You've heard the request.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. Questions? Please call the roll.
Commissioner McMurray?
Yes.
Commissioner Sereno?
Yes.
Commissioner Rather?
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver?
Aye.
Commissioner Beverly?
Yes.
Chairman Reed?
Yes.
Thank y'all.
And then one little announcement, the National Public Safety Telecommunicator Week is April 13th through the 19th. Please remember that our telecommunicators, our dispatchers in these public safety answering points are vital to, actually they're the heartbeat of our operation. Please remember them. We salute them every day, and hopefully everybody will too.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other business?
Mr. Chair, just one thing.
Yes, sir.
So we've discussed this a lot. It is budget season. Looking at our compensation package for our deputies, fire, EMS, EMA, kind of a holistic approach is what we've talked about for many months now. I'd like next month to try to get something to pass along to budget. So I just kind of want to ask each of you to think about what's important to you, whether it be potential longevity changes, salary changes, what we can do to improve in that area. It looks like right now deputies are now the second lowest paid law enforcement agency starting out in Rutherford County, and I really don't want us, along with EMS and fire, turning into the training department of these other agencies. So just what we can do to remain competitive, and just think about that over the next month, and hopefully we can come up to something to present to budget in April. So just wanted to ask you guys to be thinking about that and call to action.
Okay, sir. Other business? If there's no other business, we are adjourned.